Good morning, today is the 26th of March and today I have a bit of everything for you guys. I guess we can start with some of the bad news, which is that I tried to chaos scroll a ring for any amount of attack, only to get -2s and 3s and even a -5 on every single try. I tried to inner scroll it multiple times and there was one run where I failed like 7 times in a row, so I had to just settle for -1 for now. It's not the worst, but was a few hundred mils worth of mezzo, so I'll have to make up for it in the next few days. Good news, which there is many of, a few things sold overnight, netting me about 200 mil. Then I bought a legendary tradable Blackgate ring for 2 bill. I couldn't sell my Meisters last night, so I still had some to work with, and in just a few cubes I re-rolled it to drop in decks, which is one of the lines I was looking for. A 2 bill leg tier tradable Blackgate ring is actually pretty hard to find these days because tiering a Blackgate just to sell isn't a very good investment. You have to assume that it takes about 40 Meisters to tier to legendary, which is about 2 bill. It does however have some resale value, which is why most legendary Blackgate rings on the market are all P-socked gear. This is great to buy if it has the lines you want, but not when you need to reroll the lines. Drop gear has been on the rise these past few days, so I'll have to weigh the value between buying a cheap L-pot and re-rolling it myself, or buying a drop ring outright. In this case, I was able to pick up something rather valuable and work on it for cheap, so it can become a gear that can create more value in the future. Today's dailies did not disappoint. Cadena brought home 4 and 1, Blaze found 3 and 2, and even my Battle Mage picked up 2 and 2. On top of that, Arcarium dropped a Primal Essence, which is very much like striking gold. The Primal Essence itself sells for around 400 mil in Berra at the moment, but after dailies I went to craft a Meister ring to sell for even more. Thankfully, this is going to help me recoup the inner scroll losses from today. I also started doing the Vanishing Journey and Choo Choo dailies on my Blaze Wizard to rebuild her symbol, and I have the other two ready to go when I figure out who I want to transfer them onto. I logged in a little late, but playtime was again about 3 hours. I'm trying to cut down the hours to 2 at the moment, but with all the gear prep and pre-quests I need to do in the future, it doesn't seem like I'll be able to play less per day for a while. I decided to 30% trace the Arcane Pistol and failed 2 slots, which is good enough for my jet until much later. I tried tearing the pistol, but alas, no luck today either. I finally transfer hammered Marksman's Dex gear up to Absolab, including the hat. I think all I'm missing now are some prequests and some nodes, and that also means I'll have to do a bit of leveling to unlock a few more skill slots. From a damage standpoint, my Marksman is hitting a lot below what I like to see, which is why I dropped it from my boss roster. I might reroll the 30 boss on her secondary for 2 functional lines. I'm trying to see if I can take down normal Papulatus in a single burst without using my ultimatum ring, but that's going to require higher levels on my V skills and more final damage from snipe. I guess if I consider it like that, then it would be more cost efficient to spend mezzos on nodes for the time being, and work on leveling to 210 so I can add Vicious Shot to my burst as a replacement to the ultimatum ring. Ideally, the best in slot rings in my specific case would be any event rings, any Golux rings solid and up, and or as many Blackgate rings with drop in stat. These rings all have a higher base attack compared to most other rings, and they aren't that hard to obtain, although Golux rings are quite pricey at legendary tier. Thankfully, I only need 3 drop rings before drop rate becomes a diminishing return, and with 1 in storage and ready to go already, things are looking pretty good. The cheapest option is definitely 3 Blackgate rings with drop in decks, but I like to invest big into a superior ring so I can eventually transition the character for future weekly bosses. I think that's all for today. I will see you all tomorrow.